professional boxing with all gay fighters. I call it Friday night sissy fights.
You know, when you look at the fighters today versus what you were doing in there, what do you think when you see these young guys in there mixing it up?
I think they're a bunch of sissies.
Oh, really? Yeah. And why is that?
They should be wearing purses and, half of them paint their damn toenails. What the hell's that all about? They should be putting on makeup and lipstick and prancing around, in high heels. And they probably do it half the time anyways when they training.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. So the UFC is used to doing big deals with people who are willing to be beaten into submission and beyond recognition, and that is why they've signed up to partner with Bud Light. That's right. When your stock looks like this, you need to start making some desperate moves. And now it turns out that Bud Light, that is seeing its pretty much worst slump in 5 years this side of the pandemic, based on us weaponizing our power against the brand that betrayed its own customers and engaged in the worst possible type of activism that goes against human nature itself and spit into the face of its real customers while trying to placate to what is fashionable and what is trendy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those actions have consequences. Bud Light partners with UFC in biggest sponsorship deal in the sport's history as Embattled Beer Company attempts to fight back after Dylan Mulvaney backlash. Dana White says their core values align. The beleaguered Bud Light has partnered with UFC in a 9-figure deal. That is a $100 million deal. That is reportedly the largest in sports history. Anheuser-Busch are reuniting with the popular promotion company after a tumultuous year of business. Earlier this year, the brewer partnered with Dylan Mulvaney, which caused the whole litany of problems for the company. Yeah, I guess that's one way to say it. So how desperate does Bud Light have to be to go from this right here to this guy? Now, I'm a big-time Dana White fan, all right? And I like the guy. I like his politics. I like the way he runs his business. I like his Smash Mouth operation. This, obviously, is a metaphor. This is a metaphor. Well, don't get too far into this. How about right here? This is a metaphor for Bud Light, and this is you and I and the consumer, and this is Bud Light. Okay? After what they did to betray us into doing a multiple part sponsorship deal with an influencer that stands literally athwart everything that their drinkers believe in, know to be true, and support. Okay? So they literally did it in order to spit in our face. And Alyssa Heinerstein, the fired VP of marketing at Bud Light, said so. She gloried in it. She said it was great. She said we were out of touch and fratty. That's what she called you and I. So Bud Light got the proverbial fist to the face and, of course, had a boycott that lost it 25% of its market share. No longer the king of beers. Well, Bud Light announced this with this silly little graphic here. Proud to announce that starting in 2024, we, again, will be the official sponsor of UFC. Before Bud Light, after one sip, is the first response. No. Nah, too late. Please go away. And continues. Well, there goes watching the UFC. So now people are saying we're going after the UFC. Love to see this. It's good to be back from Bud Light brand. This is making all the sports news, by the way. Big time news. I mean, this is being covered by everything. Bud Light rejoins UFC with record sponsorship deals, sources say. Of course, this is something that everyone is writing up. You have here on CNN, there on ESPN, Bud Light scores mega deal to become official beer sponsor at UFC. Bud Light is paying for this, by the way. This is what happens when you have the capacity to hire huge marketing firms, PR firms, copywriters, and promotionals, so you can go and get this article written up. So Bud Light is obviously, they're not writing this because they love the UFC. Places like CNN and ESPN hate the UFC. They hate the UFC. They're writing it because they were told to write it or paid to write it. And that's how desperate Bud Light is to have this news shoved into your face. UFC announces Bud Light as its official beer partner, Anheuser-Busch. A $100 million deal. Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light were UFC's original beer sponsors more than 15 years ago, says Dana White. I'm proud to announce we are back in business together, he said on a statement. There are many reasons why I choose to go with Anheuser-Busch Bud Light. Most importantly, because I feel like we are aligned when it comes to our core values UFC stands for. I'm looking forward to the incredible things that we do in the years ahead. Well, okay. Will Dana White be allowing women to compete with the men in UFC? Or the men to compete with the women in UFC? We will wait. Dana White also continued saying, I spoke with Dana White about it, according to Charlie Arnold over at Outkick. And Dana White says, you can't torture someone forever. Of the Bud Light brand. Hey, listen, man, you have every right to not drink Bud Light and to roast them in the comment section. A lot of people are very upset about this, obviously. Some people are saying this is the dumbest move ever. Bud Light is paying $100 million to be the official beer of UFC. And you know what? Lighting that money on fire would have been less embarrassing for what's about to happen. Fighters are going to hate this. Fans will hate it. Customers aren't going to come back to Bud Light, period. You made your bed. Mark Dice, who I like, says dumbest move in marketing aside from Bud Light partnering with Dylan Mulvaney, UFC accepting their new official sponsor. Read the room, Dana White. Now this is a poll about this new partnership. Bud Light will spend $100 million UFC deal. Are you still drinking Bud Light? I commented in the poll, but the options were yes, no, don't drink beer. I said no. And 70% of people are saying no. 13% of people are saying yes. So we'll see. We'll see if it's money well spent. But they are trying as hard as they possibly can to shove this promotion. ESPN, CNN, Fox News, Daily Mail. Listen, man, you don't get headlines like these unless you pay for them. So they're going as hard as they can. Publicists are working newsrooms as hard as they can to get this deal written up to try and bring people back. Again, there are massive, massive fallouts for Bud Light. YouGov found that the beer had fallen out of the list of the country's top 10 favorite beers. Wow. While a proportion of Americans who liked Bud Light hasn't changed, the popularity of beer rivals have surged, pushing it into 15th place. 15th place. Wow. So they also lost, obviously, billions of dollars in market share. Dana White has brought Donald Trump, obviously, into multiple UFC events. Here's Bud Light, by the way, most popular beers in the U.S., so this is the data visualization of that. And Bud Light has tried really a ridiculous advertising campaign. The first advertising campaign, like beer advertising campaign ever in the last 20 years to feature old white men who are like your standard beer, like Midwest beer Bud Light drinkers, until, of course, they partnered with Dylan Mulvaney and destroyed, like literally destroyed their brand. Will you ever come back? Will you ever come back? Just to let you know exactly how much of a full court press, PR press this is, they're very much attempting to remove from our eyeballs this branding campaign by having Dana White go on Fox News, Sean Hannity's show, and I'll play you that clip in just a second. But it is hilarious to me that the laws of nature still exist, right? Gravity is real, okay? You cannot betray your paying customers forever. So Bud Light, of course, ran directly into the NFL, okay? So they did a big hype about their NFL partnership, and now they're going to the next most macho, manly sport they could possibly find, UFC. And just helicoptering out of a leaf blower money on the UFC. Please, for the love of God, rehabilitate our brand with men. Isn't it amazing how that works? Isn't it amazing what happens when we all stop the madness and say, nope, nope, nope? It really is remarkable how much power we actually have. So, ladies and gentlemen, what say you? Here's what Dana White said on Sean Hannity's show about this new partnership.
Anyway, here with more on all of this brand new partnership is UFC President, CEO Dana White is with us. So I had you on my radio show today. Been on radio 30 plus years. Been here. I'm in my 28th year at Fox. And, what's interesting to me is I refuse to call for boycotts, firings, cancellations, any of this stuff. I'm against all of it. I thought it was stupid of Budweiser or Bud Light to get into that controversy. Just dumb. And I have no idea why they waded into those waters. But my fear from the beginning was not the person that made the dumb decision or the people that made the dumb decision. When I saw this taking hold, I was concerned about the people that work for Bud Light. Those are high-paying career jobs. And I said that publicly. And I'm hoping, everybody knows who you are, Dana. No holds barred, kick ass, take no prisoners. I don't give an atom Schiff or in anybody's face. So they purposely went with you. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me start with, they were the first beer company that we really did business with. They're our first real big sponsor when we were getting started. And now we're back with them. And going into this deal, I know all the controversy and everything else. But for myself, going into a long-term deal with another sponsor, I want to be with somebody that I'm actually aligned with. And I know people were upset with what they did, but I'm looking at all the good things that they do. They employ 65,000 Americans. They have thousands of vets that work for them. They spend $700 million a year with U.S. farmers using their crops to make their products and many, many other great things that Anheuser-Busch has done in this country. And those are the things that I'm focused on. When I look at a long-term sponsor that's going to be, we're going to do a 6-year deal here. I want to be with somebody that I'm aligned with. All those things that I just mentioned to you are what I'm all about. And not to mention, they have this thing called Folds of Honor. I'm very big into law enforcement and military. And over the last, I don't know how many years, they've spent like $45 million taking care of, these servicemen and first responders who have died, taking care of their families, scholarships for their kids and things like that. So I am very aligned with Anheuser-Busch.
All right. So let me be clear about a few things. There were other beer companies that wanted to partner with you, correct? I know you don't need the money because you have more money than anyone could ever want in probably 4,000 lifetimes. So you didn't do it for the money. You didn't do it, you did it for the reasons stated, but you also knew, and it's already happening on social media, that you'd be attacked. You'd be accused of selling out. I want you to respond to those people.
Well, let's be clear. When you do sponsorships, you definitely do sponsorships for the money, too. Money is definitely a part of it, but money was not the decision-making. There wasn't the reason that I made the decision. All the things that I just told you are why. I mean, there's more to being aligned with a sponsor, a major sponsor like that, for as long as I'm going to be. There are many other things that are important to me other than just the money. And the people that were all involved in this negotiation on every side absolutely positively know that my choice was not determined by money.
Yeah, I know that. One of the things that I would say is, when you factor in what you said about their support of the military, when you factor in that they support U.S. farmers, when you factor in, for me, the most important things, I knew it, and it did happen. I knew great people that work for Budweiser once the beer sales slipped dramatically, because it was a strong message that what the hell are you doing? Why are you diving into these cultural wars? It was stupid. Sorry, at that time, your new partner was being stupid. They should never have gotten into the political arena like that. But I do think, and I hope this, and I'm a Christian, I believe in second chances, forgiveness, right? I'm hoping that maybe for the sake of the people that need their career jobs back to pay their mortgages, car payments, rent, and need those career jobs and get their health insurance back, that maybe people might consider giving them another chance with the clear understanding if they screw up again like this, they're never coming back. And you might be the guy that's able to bridge that gap, maybe to give this company another chance and maybe give another look at it. And I know how much you were offered from other companies. It wasn't about the money. But, yeah, everything's about the money, but it's not. So I hope for the workers that it works out for them, because they were innocent victims in this, and they're good people that need those jobs. So I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, that's what I say, too. And it's about, listen, like I said before, they run their business. They do their thing. They do a lot of great things. They employ 65,000 people in this country. They take care of farmers. And did you know that when there's big disasters, they shut the plant down and they turn it into a water bottling facility? And they bottled like 100 million bottles of water that they've sent out to disaster areas. I'm going to focus on the good that they do. We are very aligned in many different areas, and that's why they're going to be my partner for the next 6 years.
Look, I admire it. You knew that you'd get incoming. You did it anyway. You have strong reasons why you did it. I really cared about then, and I care about now, the workers. And you know what? All these other things that you brought up that I also support, the military, law enforcement, all these things, amazing. By the way, why didn't Elon Musk and Zuckerberg get in the octagon? You said you talked to both of them. What happened? I want to see that.
Yeah, a lot of people want to see it. I don't know. Listen, I never say never, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out.
It was all, to me, it was all talk. Elon, get in shape, get in the octagon. Zuckerberg, get ready, game on. Everybody will see it. Do it for charity. It'll be a great event for everyone. All right, Dana, it's interesting. Good luck with the partnership.